Good morning, everyone. Alexandra here. It is April 9th, 8:30 in the morning on a beautiful sunny day here in Philadelphia. I wanted to take some time to read some cards for the collective. I've pulled some cards for us. It's been a really transformative time for a lot of people. And one of the things to bear in mind in these transformative periods is how messy they can be, how difficult they can be, how exciting they can be, how terrifying they can be. All of those things are happening. And I just want to bring that perspective because when we are in the center of transformation, we can't always see where we're going and we can't always see what's leaving, what's coming to us. Sometimes we're in that, portal of change, and it's happening so quickly that we can't always fully process what's happening. So, with that in mind, I'm going to share some cards with us that I think are going to be helpful. I pulled these cards already, and I was sitting with them. The first one that I pulled is the Queen of Wands, and I want to share that this is such an exciting card to receive in moments of transformation because it really speaks to the fire in us. It really speaks to the creative sort of ignition, that sort of animating principle within us that we may be sitting with, and maybe it has been dormant, maybe it has not had a chance to express itself, maybe it hasn't been safe to fully retreat into that energy and move with it. But this is feeling like a much more protected and supported time for that energy. So I would look at projects that you're seeking to create, energy that you're seeking to bring out into the world. Queen of Wands is a deeply magical card because she is very balanced in terms of her inner and outer worlds. So the things that you've been sitting with and sitting with, wanting to create, wanting to make in reality, this is some supportive energy for that. Um, a lot of that is going to be so, and what I want to say here too is that's going to be pointed towards some things that are difficult. There may be some points of stagnation or points of conflict that is pointing at, and that's never comfortable. Okay. What's on the other side is very comfortable. um, what I have laid out here is on either side of the Queen of Wands, in the past, in the West, we have the Priestess reversed. So this speaks to, something we've just been avoiding on a deeper level. It could be something that we're not admitting to ourselves, something that is trying to move through us that we are not letting, we're not allowing for it. This could be spiritual gifts, it could be our intuition, it could be a rebirth of some kind, it could be, just our own awareness and willingness to look at ourselves and what our real, like, how are we getting in our own way. For me, the Priestess is always a bit about, like, well, how am I wishing for something and actually not letting it through. um so there can be some self-awareness connected to that. And the Queen of Wands is like not letting you think about it too much. She's going to push things forward in a way where you're living in that sort of new energy and able to cast off, move away from that, those sabotaging energies, or those stagnant energies, and sort of move into this energy of Five of Swords in reversal, which is, looking at something, if you've been stuck in a loop about something, we all have our version of that, right? trying to make a change and it just isn't quite sticking. Um, we're looking at our own resilience. I mean, to me, like Five of Swords in reversal, really, really, it takes the intensity of rejection and failure, and the embodiment of that, and sort of flips it on its head, and it says, like, I can keep going, like I can find another way, I can go left instead of right. Or we can figure something else out. Fives usually indicate some conflict, either inner conflict or conflict with an individual. So it could mean that you're questioning yourself too much on a decision that you're trying to make. And this is the Queen of Wands is saying, just do the thing and trust that you are supported. Okay. And when I say that, I mean that you are coming at that with queen energy, with mastery. It's not impulsive. It's not saying like, oh, I want to, quit my job and sell bracelets on the corner and live in a mansion. This is like Queen of Wands is saying, like, you've been percolating with some ideas and some energy, and it's time to go. It's time to get going. Stop getting in your own way. Stop, taking bad advice. Stop, questioning yourself on something that feels very natural for you. Okay. I think one of the best advices I've ever received around, living in accordance with my own gifts and my own talents was to stop questioning them. Stop questioning that is a path. Of course, there are more secure pathways out there. Of course, there are more, things that might offer you different benefits, whatever, but when the soul is seeking to reveal itself to you, you need to follow that. You need to listen to that. If you have a deeper calling, that's something that you're listening to. Okay. On the other side of that, we have the Empress. And the Empress is, an energy of pure magnetism. And I love these sort of like feminine cards of, the progenitor, the thing that's moving through you, the thing that's being birthed, and the Empress, which is the sort of enjoyment of it, the pleasure of it, the receiving of that which we've created. And so this is a really beautiful sort of like closed loop around feminine energy where it's feeling supported. Okay. We also have in the past, we have the Knight of Cups. We are receiving the Knight of Cups here. To me, it's sort of like this emotional care, this emotional support that has been present, whether that's been visible, invisible, in cups it might not be fully visible. This could be the support of our ancestors. It could be the support of our spirit guides. It could be the support of just sort of like, I don't know, Knight of Cups can be really gentle in terms of how it shows up. It's like, a sense of presence without forcing or demanding anything. And that is in some ways the safest way that we can create care, is just through emotional presence, spiritual presence, embodied presence, empathy. Okay, so if empathy is missing in terms of how you're showing up for others or how others are showing up for you, that is something to make some changes around. Crossing this, we have the Six of Cups. So there is going to be some reconnection to past influence. There may be some karmic energy here around completion or sort of a reignition around certain connections. I would say that these connections, you know, these connections because they make you feel like yourself. You are not wearing any masks in the connections that are meant for you. Okay. You're not pretending to be somebody else. If and it's very natural. Queen of Wands is this fiery sort of like, we can't really control what comes out of us. We can, you know, but but it's maybe a more childlike energy, a more innocent energy, something very pure and something very essential to who we are and how we express ourselves. That these are energies that are present for us here, for us to engage with, should we choose it. On the other side, we've got the Empress, again, you know, really, really considering, every time I see her, I always think about like really drawing in that which I value, you know, sort of a reignition of the relationship to my values. What is it that is important to me? What is it that I seek to cultivate? And sometimes those things don't exist. It's like, you know, planting a garden, like you've got a lump of land. What are you going to do with it? This is like, you know, if something doesn't exist yet, you can create that and it can offer beautiful things to you. It can offer you beautiful flowers or a summer of vegetables or, or just, you know, or just a place for the bees to be busy. But, you know, the point is that you can create from nothing and then receive and relax and receive into the fruits of your labor. Okay. I was reflecting on this on a lot of, I don't know, it's mostly female clients, but I think really anybody. Look at our impulses to take care of things that are not really for us. And, you know, look at our impulses to kind of like achieve something that doesn't need to be achieved. You know, it's like really a deep invitation to not only slow down, but to do what we want and not do what we don't want, you know? Now, the Empress in reversal can be quite lazy. She's not in reversal. She's upright. So she's not lazy. She is putting effort into things that really matter to her and things that are going to offer long-term value to her. So sometimes that does mean doing things you don't want to do. In fact, our advice includes doing things we don't want to do, you know, Eight of Discs in reversal, God, bored, you know, or like there's a laundry list. Okay. Can we make the laundry list sexy by connecting it to our bigger goals? Can we be so excited about what's coming that the laundry list kind of just fades into the background and we're like just doing it because we're working towards that larger goal? So this is not a time to be lazy at all, but it is a time to connect deeply with that fire within us and its ability to draw that which we are trying to create for ourselves into us. Okay? Like I said, there's this feedback loop. There's this closed loop here where it's like we're giving and we're receiving, like with our present selves and our future selves. Okay? So I want you to sit with that, enjoy that. Okay? Meditation. Eight of Discs, again, Eight of Discs in reversal. This is our advice to do the boring stuff, do the daily rituals, do the dishes, do the laundry. Princess of Discs. I would say that this is asking for our deep focus and care. There's a lot of energy here that's trying to move And we also still have to tend to, how is this going to be hitting the ground? We still have to tend to, okay, I'm not going to just throw seeds, willy-nilly. I am going to, plant the seeds. Talk to the seeds, water the seeds, give them light, okay? We're in beginning energy and mastery energy kind of all at once. So, and I feel like that only happens when we really know what we're doing to the point of not being self-conscious about it or not doubting ourselves. Sometimes we're not at that point, but we should know that we know what we're doing. Maybe we've overthought the problem to death, and so it's just time to do something different. Trust yourself, okay? I think that's what I've got for you, everybody. And it's good to be back. I know I've taken a break. And I am excited to, be present with you more, to be offering these more frequently. And I'm also excited about different learning opportunities that are going to be coming up for my community. There are, so many ways to engage with the work, and I'm just going to link below, different classes that are coming up and different ways to connect. And of course, if you're looking to book a reading or consultation of any kind, I'm your girl. I got you. Okay. And until next time, I'm sending you all my love. Take care.